My name is Christian. I'm the gameplay director on Hitman Absolution.
So let's talk a little about contracts.
Well, Contract is the new mode we unveiled for Hitman Absolution. It's a multiplayer/social mode where our fans and our players can actually create hits themselves. And the way it works is that we say, what if any NPC in the game world could actually be a target? That kind of started off the entire thing. And we did that because we saw our fans were playing the old games, and they were actually challenging each other to go for targets that were not, originally listed in the story, but saying, okay, so this janitor or this guy on this boat, can anyone, do a silent assassin on him? And we thought that was actually a very cool idea because it has a lot of replay in it if everyone is a potential target. But it posed a challenge in the sense like, how do you create these hits in the first place? And we really didn't want to create an editor because we felt that it could be maybe too abstract, and also it might not be as intuitive for a lot of people, and we want everyone to be able to do it. So we came up with a concept we call play to create, which is basically saying that the way you create your hits is by playing the game. So you start up in contracts mode, and now you'll see that you have the ability to mark NPCs in the environment as a target. Then you proceed to kill them, and what we do then is actually we monitor what you did. So did you kill him dressed as a police officer? Did you use your silver ballers? Did you use a police baton? Or did you use a brick or whatever weapon you could find? And we also look at, did you remain unseen? Did you miss any shots? All the stuff that would be interesting in a contract. And then in the end you actually also choose your exit. You walk out and you exit the contract. And by playing it you also know whether it's going to be fun or not. Most likely you know who your friends are, for instance. What will they like? What is challenging for them? What would they find as a fun or good contract? And the friends that receive this contract will also know that you did it in the first place. There's no real way around that. So even if it seems impossible, it's like, yeah, but I did it. So you have to try to beat it. And that way we kind of came up with a system we feel is a very good way of creating the contracts that will give us a lot of fun and creative ways of killing people left and right, if you will. So that's basically contracts mode. It has, obviously you earn money when you do it. You can buy unlocks and upgrades for these money, and it's also on the servers, so it's for everyone to play, not only your friends. You can also compete on these tournaments where you have a lot of people competing to be the best assassin.
What advice would you give based on how you guys have been playing around with this mode? What makes fun contracts?
Well, I think creativity, that would be it. I mean, in some of the stuff we've been showing when we show contracts mode, we also show that if you go into a level and you just pick up, let's say you take the first guy and you find, it's probably not that fun because everyone can just go in and find him. So it's probably some guy hidden somewhere, or maybe it's a fun murder weapon that you want to highlight. A contract can also be, actually you could select a target that's already a target in story mode, but what you could do is then show a way to do a silent assassin on him by doing a contract in that way. So I think as long as it's creative, I think it's fun. Also, I think some people will also just be wearing a chicken outfit or a chipmunk outfit and then killing 3 targets with a shotgun, maybe remaining unseen. So it was the night of the chicken, or I don't know what. So, and you can also, when you do the contracts, you can edit the title of the contract and the description, so you can come up with your own stories about why this chicken wanted these guys in a hotel dead, or whatever the story is. And I think a lot of people will find that quite funny.
Now, I know stealth is a big part of the game, but if you're dressed as a chicken, do the AI react to you differently?
Well, they will see. I mean, if you're allowed to be there normally, so let's say it's at a hotel lobby, then we'll actually just, it's an open world. It's free-minded, so you can actually walk around as a chicken. But obviously, if you start doing stuff, or if you walk around in areas we're not allowed, then we'll start looking at who's that weird guy in a chicken outfit.
What has stood out from you from the contracts you've seen through either developers or play tests or anything? What are some things that really stood out? Well,
I think there are quite a few. Some of them stand out because they are, showing off some very tricky and elaborate ways of doing stuff that we really didn't, necessarily think of ourselves. So in that way, they are an expression of someone's understanding of the game mechanics. And since this is a very sandboxy game, it's sort of a very detailed sandbox with a lot of options in it. You can find some pretty crazy ways of accomplishing your missions. I also think we have some good example of using the sniper rifle. Like we have the sniper challenge for our pre-order, where we I think we basically that taught people how to use sniper rifles in the first place, and then you can get these elaborate setups where targets are marked, but you can't really get to them. So people were distracting them. They snipe some area, they hear a shot, they walk out, then they get killed, or get all these weird combinations, if you will. So a lot of different ways of completing the contract.